Bartimaeus heard the crowd and asked what was happening. Someone answered, "Jesus of Nazareth passeth by." That may not seem important until you remember what people thought about Nazareth. Nazareth was a small, obscure village that many people looked down on. Its reputation was so poor that Nathanael once asked, "Can there any good thing come out of Nazareth?" John 1:46. The crowd identified Jesus by where he came from. But Bartimaeus cried out, "Jesus, thou Son of David, have mercy on me." Did you catch it? The crowd called him Jesus of Nazareth. Bartimaeus called him the Son of David. The crowd knew his hometown. Bartimaeus knew his identity. Think about that. Bartimaeus had never seen Jesus perform a miracle. He had never watched him teach. He had never looked into his face. Yet he believed Jesus was the promised Messiah. His hearing recognized Jesus. His faith recognized Jesus. His voice confessed Jesus. His eyes were the last part of him to recognize Jesus. The crowd didn't understand. They rebuked Bartimaeus. They told him to be quiet. But Bartimaeus refused to let the opinions of people silence his faith. He cried even louder, "Thou Son of David, have mercy on me." Then everything stopped. Jesus stopped. And instead of speaking directly to Bartimaeus, Jesus turned to the very crowd that had tried to silence him and said, "Call ye him." The same voices that had said, "Be quiet," now had to say, "Be of good comfort, rise, he calleth thee." Jesus turned the barrier into the invitation. Bartimaeus came to Jesus, and immediately his sight was restored. But perhaps the greatest miracle wasn't that his eyes were opened. It was that he recognized Jesus before he ever saw him. The crowd saw Jesus of Nazareth. Bartimaeus saw the Son of David. The crowd saw a blind beggar. Jesus saw a man of faith. People may judge you by where you come from, by your past, by your struggles, or by the labels they've placed on your life. But don't be discouraged. People may identify you by your circumstances. God sees your identity. And sometimes faith sees what eyes cannot.